It's time to go get my tattoo. Let's go. I am a tattoo person now. Hi guys, we're now at the just over 2-week mark from getting home from our Virgin Voyages cruise, and it was wonderful. But I'm going to tell you all about the experience of getting a tattoo on board with my top tips of how to make it work for you. Last year, when we were on the Valiant Lady, I went to Squid Ink and got this ear piercing. And you can watch the video about that here. But I was strongly contemplating getting a tattoo, and I just had to figure out what was the right design. Now, first off, you have to get the booking. And these are really popular on board, especially for some of these shorter sailings. The cruises out of Miami that we were on the Valiant Lady, have lots of folks interested in getting inked. And so they opened the shop in the evening on the first night after setting sail. For us, it opened at 6, I believe, and we want to make sure to get our choice of whatever schedule, whatever booking time we wanted. And so we made sure we were there lined up at least 15-20 minutes before the doors opened. For us, that meant we were about the third person in line, but by the time the doors opened, there were at least 10 people in line, and we all had to kind of wait our turn while everyone spoke with one of the tattoo artists on board and gave them their ideas, looked at some of the times, some of the price points, and saw what worked for them. We had booked this cruise on our previous sailing out of Barcelona, also on the Valiant Lady, a year ago. And so we had some onboard booking credits and some sailor loot, which is what they call your onboard cash, the credits that you get to spend as part of the rebooking promotion, and some discounts that were offered. We used that money towards the tattoo, as well as some spending in the gift shops. We had a bar tab for some of those, some of that money went toward, and we made really good use of that money. So if you have sailor loot, it can be applied toward your tattoo. Our deposit on smaller pieces is $250. They estimated that my tattoo was going to be about $300. So it was a smaller, just black and white design, just some line work. So it wasn't super detailed and wasn't going to be more than $300. But there are definitely larger pieces that are well over 4 figures that can be done. I assume those are a longer appointment, but our appointment was for 1 hour, which they didn't think we would need all of the time for, but that's what we booked. Now, why did we want to get first crack at the scheduling book? Because I knew that a tattoo really should be kept out of the sun and ideally out of water, hot water, chlorinated and salty water, ideally for a while it's healing. So I wanted to take full advantage of the hot tubs, of the pool in Bimini, of getting in the ocean. And so we wanted to get the latest time we could get on the last night on board to get inked, so that I wouldn't have to worry about caring for a brand new baby tattoo while I was also enjoying all that these ports had to offer. So I picked 5 p.m. on our last day, which was our day in Bimini. We got to really enjoy the beach club at Bimini, had a great time, but got back in plenty of time to take a shower and get ready to go meet with my tattoo artist. Let's rewind a bit. What does this conversation look like on your booking day? First, we picked out our schedule, picked out that final day. Secondly, we talked about the design, and what I brought with me to make sure my design was exactly what I wanted was pictures of what I wanted the tattoo to represent. I didn't exactly have it sketched out because these artists are true artists and they will design something for you. They'll show it to you on their iPads, their devices, and if you approve it, they will print out essentially a temporary tattoo to use as a stencil as they do their work and put the permanent ink in place. The temporary tattoo is not exactly the design you're getting. It may just be the outline, and they fill in the details on their own as they do the work. Or it may be like the inverse of the colors. Just don't be shocked if it's not exactly, but it gives you an idea that they know what you're looking to get done. I didn't know if I was going to walk in there and walk out with a tattoo. Is that how it works? I don't know what to expect. No, when they open appointments the first night, they're not doing tattoos immediately. Each of the artists is taking turns, taking customers, talking to them. I didn't get to pick which artist I was going to be receiving my tattoo from. I had followed Squid Ink, their Virgin Voyages Squid Ink official account on Instagram, and they announce who the artists are working during which shifts. So a lot of these tattoo artists will be on board for 2 weeks or 3 weeks at a time. And I went on that account, figured out who was going to be the artist when I was on board, and then followed those tattoo artists on Instagram. They all have their own style, their own flair, and you can see which ones are kind of a good match with you. Now, I was perfectly happy with either of the artists that were available that day, but I got Lisa, and Lisa Doll was lovely. And I was already excited because I'd seen her work on Instagram, and I was confident that she was going to take care of me. When I showed her my designs, she took pictures of them, wrote notes, and then she worked on the design and sketching it out and working on the details from the time I was there making my booking until my actual appointment on the final day. So these artists are working on your piece even when you're off exploring the ports and enjoying the ship. Now, getting the tattoo itself, I was worried was going to hurt. At least the area that I got mine done on did not hurt much at all. Parts of it felt like almost nothing, and then other parts of it kind of felt like a little burning sensation. I've had laser hair removal. I've had some dermatology, like zapping with lasers. It kind of felt like that. It was like a warm burning sensation or a scratching sensation. It doesn't hurt. Sorry.
And you're making sure that today you don't...
Exactly. So it's more... My husband came in and sat in the porthole and watched as it was done and took some of these videos, offered me my ginger ale if I needed something to sip. They do recommend that you have something to eat and something to drink about an hour before you come get your tattoo, so that if you are prone to getting woozy around needles, you have a little something in your system. And they said, make sure to tell us if you do feel woozy, but it was really nothing. It doesn't even look like when a doctor goes to give you a shot, you see the needle and you freak out. Like, this looks like a mechanical pin. It doesn't freak me out at all.
Feel free to take a moment if that equilibrium fall.
I'm okay, but my chair is real sweaty. I felt And she even showed me the design on the iPad and showed me, do you want to do it larger or smaller? And she printed out a couple different sizes of it, and we held it up on my arm to see how far do we want it to go. And I wanted it to be pretty similar to the actual beads that it was representing. So I had the real necklace with me, and we compared it to the design, but I also wanted to keep it kind of a little more delicate and dainty. So this is slightly smaller than actual size, my end result. Lisa was really lovely. My tattoo artist, Lisa Doll, was so sweet. And we talked about the placement, and she just made sure I was really happy with it every step of the way. The process itself, we just chatted and were friendly. There were other guests there also getting tattoos, and we had conversation and talked about, I explained the inspiration behind my tattoo. It was all in all a really great experience. She gave us all the details on how to care for it. Right now my arm feels warm. It feels like it's like kind of sunburned is what it feels like. Here is what some of the healing process looked like. On the very first day, they covered it with a plastic derm wrap to just protect it. I left that on there. If I showered, they said I could have gotten in the pool with that wrap on, it would have been fine. I left it on there for about a day and a half. They said you could take it off at the 24-hour mark, but I didn't get around to taking it off about a day and a half. There was some ink that kind of oozes a little bit, and so it just kind of looks like a black blob underneath the wrap. And so when I went to pick up my kids, they wanted to see it, and I was like, well, it just kind of looks like a wiggly line. It kind of looks like a snake right now, but it will look different once I take the wrap off and wash it. That's normal. It's okay. Having a little bit of liquid under the plastic is okay. Okay, could be worse, could be worse. I just want to open it up so that I can wash it and make sure it doesn't get any bacteria under there that could cause an infection. The design is under there. Ooh, we're getting to the part that has arm hairs. Ah! That might hurt worse than getting the tattoo. There we go. Once I took it off, I just washed it gently with a little warm water and a soap, ideally a fragrance-free soap. And I did that every day. I washed it in the evenings and then put my recovery salve on it. Now they did give me a tattoo salve as a parting gift from Squid Ink, but I did want to use my own because I love Aura's Amazing Herbal as a brand, and I really trust their products. As someone who is gluten-free and dairy-free and really care about what I put in my body and on my body, I know that this is a brand that I can trust. I asked them to send this to me when I was getting my tattoo, and they graciously did. And so thank you very much, Aura's. But if you would like to order this, they also have a tattoo oil and a tattoo soap. Like I said, you need a fragrance-free soap. So you can order any of those from Aura using my link in the description down below. That is an affiliate link too, so I appreciate your support of the channel. I'm gonna put just a nice little fingernail full of that on there. There it is. She looks so pretty. What do you think, Nora? You love it?
Like, the circles are like so perfect.
Nora approved.
It's good. And now I'm gonna set a timer for me to get mine.
Oh, you have a few years, my love.
Aww.
But I love this stuff because it smells herbal and has all kinds of natural botanical things that aid in healing in a way that is natural and just supports the body. Oh, the first like 2 nights it is a little bit sticky. Sometimes it oozes a little bit at night, and so I wrapped my forearm in saran wrap, and then I put one of my loosest scrunchies over that just to keep it in place, and slept like that. And when I woke up the next day, I would wash it again and put the salve on it again. Just a very light layer. It doesn't need to be super greasy or doused in it, just to make sure that everything doesn't get too dried out and itchy. The main point of that plastic wrap at night was so that, one, I didn't get any of the oozy ink on my bed sheets. Sometimes people will stick to the linens if they their tattoo will stick as it's oozing at night, and that's kind of gross. Sorry to say gross things. But also I wanted to cover it because I knew I inadvertently would try to scratch it. Remember, it kind of feels like a sunburn, which it's funny, that day in Bimini I got a pretty good sunburn on my shoulders, and the sunburn on my shoulders, I apologize, I put on like SPF 50, and at one point we were like, we gotta go, it's time to go. If we don't go, we need to reapply sunscreen. And we were like, no, we're gonna go. But then the Happenings cast started throwing this party, and there were floats and bubbles and mermaids, and it was just so fun that we stuck around and we stayed in the pool longer than we expected. And so I got a little sunburn on my shoulders, and I will tell you, the sunburn on my shoulders hurt worse than the tattoo on my arm. But the healing process was almost exactly the same. Around day 4 or 5, I started to peel. And also here, I started to peel just around the edges of the design. It got a little flaky. Every once in a while, something would flake off, and it would almost look like the design was misshapen. And then I realized that just needed to be washed away. It took a lot of willpower not to pick at it, but don't pick at it. But at the 16-day mark, it's like not a thing anymore. It's just a part of me now. And it's a memory that I get to carry with me forever, because Squid Ink and their artists and Lisa did such beautiful work, and I'm really grateful. So you may be asking, Laura, what is this design and why does it matter to you? I want to tell you why I got this tattoo. Whenever my babies were little, they always wore amber teething beads. This was a necklace that was admittedly a crunchy mom thing to do, but I'm a little bit crunchy. And I just loved the sweet look of it on my baby. But what I loved even more was when I would be holding them and they'd fall asleep and nap in my arms, and when they would wake up, this would be imprinted on my forearm from where it had been laying on their neck. And so I just thought, I want something to commemorate the way that my babies have left an impression on me. I practiced it with a henna tattoo a couple times, just to have it on there for a few weeks and see if I liked it. And I continued to like it, continued to want the design. So today I made it permanent. So this is to commemorate early motherhood and having babies and having them make an impression on you. We're past that stage now. Nobody's teething. They don't nap in my arms hardly ever, but I'll carry it with me. And I'll embrace all the stages that are to come. So, find a design that's important to you and keep it with you forever. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I bet you didn't expect to cry in this video. I love it. I really love it.
Show me the other arm. Nope.
This one?
What?